And welcome to another episode of the Sunday Spins. I'm Vinny G here at 6'4 Central. With me, as always, is my man Greno. No, you're not seeing double. It has been 2 weeks, and here we are. And when you have a guest as great as ours, you don't pass up the opportunity to have him on the show. So, that being said, welcome to the Sunday Spin. This week and every week, brought to you by our fabulous sponsors, Grooves Records in San Francisco, USA, Kevin Chanel, and of course, What's Left Records in the 719. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Tonto, host of Greno's Groove Yarns Mondays on KCOS. My man Greno. G, how are you, buddy?
I'm grooving on a Sunday on the spin, baby. Let's play
so much fun we had to do it again.
Ernie Banks style. Let's play two. We did have to set the best for last, though. This man is wonderful. And yeah, I can't even stress how important this man has been in my musical evolution since I've moved to the COS for the last, gosh, I've known him almost 14 years. It's ridiculous. The one, the only, the incomparable, and not Spider-Man, Brian Ostro. What's up, brother?
Hello, how are you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you very much for having me on.
Dude, man, you're like, we had to go through how many people, Vinny? Press agents, and like it's a lot of red tape to get to you.
There's no press agents. They're just like, am I available to do it? So, and I'm glad I am. So, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, truly, we throw that Legends of the 6'4", but if there is a legend of the 719, we're sitting and talking with one right now.
Exactly.
The story is fantastic.
Yes.
Like Greno says, 14 years since Greno's been there, I've been hearing about the fabulous Ostro brothers. So it really is an honor to sit down and bake bread with you.
Well, that's awesome. Time. Thank you so much. And that means a whole bunch. But, it's always weird when that word comes around. It's like, I'm just somebody that likes to book shows and, let people have a good time. So that's it. Nothing special about me, but I appreciate it.
There's a lot special about you, Brian. And we're going to get into that, man. And again, we just appreciate your time, my brother. We go a long way back and we got a lot to talk about because music is the thing that is the glue that brought us all together, not just myself and Vinny, myself and you, but a lot of people that watch the show and people that are into what we're doing. It's like, look at the record store as a prime example of like, man, the love of music is at an all-time high in not just our country, but in the world. And it's so exciting to see. It's fabulous, man. And Brian, man, we always, Vinny, I'm gonna go. You ask him. You ask him. We always
do. Greno, I want to thank you. I mean, I don't think anyone could have put it any better about what music's doing right now. I would only add that in the times that we've had and the things that we've fought through, all of us, the one constant that's always been, someday there's going to be music and there's going to be live music. It's a victory and it's beautiful and it's not possible without people like Brian. So yeah, Brian, for you, I'm dying to know, as I always am, your first musical memory, what that would be and how old you were.
Well, I think it was when I was conceived at a Hall & Oates concert. I could just hear the barrier going. No, I'm just kidding. I would say in real life, I mean, honestly, like I joke about that, but my parents really were a huge part of why I like music so much. And I think sometimes they regret that with everything that, how both of their kids have turned out, but for the best, but, I still remember going and seeing, I think my first concert, my parents took me to see like Foreigner and Loverboy at like Fiddler's Green. So I saw stuff like that. In fifth grade, they took me to see Alice Cooper and like Joe Walsh and stuff at like at like an Air Force Base thing. So they took me to that, and so that's when I really first. So I will say though, like a first like extreme music memory. My dad came home from like Lollapalooza, like I think like the one of the first or second ones, and he came home with a Ministry CD. He's like, "Oh, you gotta check out this band. They were so loud." That's how my dad talks. Glenn knows.
He does.
Yeah, but anyway, and so he had this Ministry album, and I was just like, "What the hell is this?" It was like industrial. It was heavy. It was loud. It was like everything that I like was like wanting. So yeah, so that was like very much super important to me. And he even thought it was too heavy. He tried to return it back to Target. I'm like, "No, give it to me. Give it to me." I'm like, 6 or 7, like, "Give it to me." And then
I don't mean to interrupt, but it's a whole world away from Hall & Oates too. So props to Pops.
It is. I know exactly, right? He went there for Pearl Jam, and he came out looking just like Al Jorgensen.
Oh, it's great, man.
Yeah, so that was a big experience for me. And then also like I kind of like, as kids are, I was into like, playing football and sports, and I was like terrible at it. And I watched this like video of like like sports tackles and stuff. It's like VHS that I had, and then there was this over music, and there was this scene that it showed the Cowboys, but then it played Cowboys from Hell, and it had this like little thing of Pantera, and it showed them like actually like like playing live and like stage dives and like the video, and I was just like, I don't want to do this sports stuff anymore. This is what I want to do. So that's another big important memory for me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
That really is. I mean, Greta and I being, a few years older, I think of the old, like the NFL films, and it's nothing like the music that Brian is alluding to. For us, Greta, we're used to, Tarkenton and the Snake Stabler running through ice storms with a symphony, right?
Some like
if you're our age, you can certainly identify
NFL films music.
Right.
Yeah. Wow, what a great memory. That really is.
Yeah, it is.
And first instrument.
First instrument, guitar. So I started playing guitar. I think I had an acoustic growing up, and I never really played with it. And then, I got another story that involves my parents and stuff. In like 7th grade, I was in 7th grade, and I was in Cripple Creek with my parents. And so that's for those that aren't in Colorado, that's like a gambling kind of town. So we were there. My parents were having fun, and I was stuck in a hotel room. But I had a Guitar World magazine, and it had like Korn and Cradle of Filth and stuff on it. And so I was reading that. And my dad won like this slot machine. He did like $1 slot. He won like $1,800 or something. And so with that, he was like, "When I win, you guys win." So he there was this ad for this Kramer Focus guitar that was like $79. So I was like, "Yeah, I have this." And so he bought it for me. And that's kind of how I started playing guitar, playing like electric guitar and stuff like that.
Fantastic.
Stories.
Fantastic.
Your brother's already contesting you, by the way.
What is he writing on us?
A long time member on the show. Shawnee's been on. Yeah, so Shawnee, let's put it up so we can get the brothers in a recorder. Was it the Sean?
The recorder was everyone's first instrument.
Sean record. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. And my last instrument that I just played about an hour ago is the skin flute. So. And
then that's perfect for our next guest. Said that after you just said that. So.
Oh, right, nice.
Perfect. Yeah, Carlin, thank you so much. We love the interaction here on the Spin. You guys keep those comments coming, and Shawnee, keep the banter coming. We
don't get many heckles on the shows.
Keep the brother on the up and up, right?
You should be working right now. We're not. Last I checked, we're still open.
I love it. What's Left Records behind the scenes, folks. Hey man, that's an incredible thing, and we'll get to that later on. What's Left Records it's an incredible place, and it's been a wonderful thing for me and so many other people. And thank you so much for that, Brian. But I want to know about the first rock and roll band that you formed, because I know you've done so many interesting and amazing things with music. What was the first one?
So the first one, Sean will probably laugh at this. I made a band that didn't exist named Gilbert's Pet. And I would make like these CDs. So I'd get like all this art and I'd like make, fake songs on it. One was called Internet Heck. It was right when the internet was coming out, AOL was like the big thing. So I wrote some like stuff like that, wrote songs, had this like weird little dog drawing that was terrible because I was like pretty young. So I did that. I made my own like CDs without actually making it. So that's like younger. And then when I first started playing, I did that. And then I had this band that we called like Genocide when I was like in like a freshman in high school. And I was playing with some friends, and I've always been playing with Cliff. Like since I ever started, Cliff, I always played with, and he still plays drums in Night of the Living Shred with me and stuff. Yes. So that's kind of how we first started. And one funny story there is when we would practice in like this dude's basement. We were all on school, so it was like his grandma's house, and he like this drummer, he like painted his face like it was the new metal thing going on. So he like painted his face half red, half red, half black, like looking all like he's in Mudvayne or something. And then for a band practice in his basement, and then as we're playing, the phone rings, and he answers it and he goes, "Hey guys, my grandma called from upstairs and said to turn it down."
So wow. It's like that Dragnet episode, Greta, with Blue Boy, right?
Exactly.
So you're too young, but right? It's funny.
But it's funny stuff though. So I mean that happened, and then my first band that we started playing shows with was called Fabricate, and that was like kind of heavy, like death metal, thrash kind of stuff. But then with a little bit of some of the members were very new metal-y inclined too, so it was a little mashup. But we started, playing, and that's kind of how it grew. And that was, I'd say I was probably like a junior in high school when we started doing all that stuff.
Fabricate. And when were you the guitar player or singing?
Guitar for that. Yep. I did guitar. And then after that, I did a band called Torment, which was like right out of high school. And I did vocals for that. And that was like a thrash band. And then from that, did the Ruining Seed. From that I did Verrader with my brother. That's when I first started playing with my brother. And then Verrader, and then the Ruining Seed, and then Blighter, 908, and then now Night of Living Shred within the Blighter time, and then now Upon a Field's Whisper. So sorry, I just went down all of those.
Brian Ostro in real time, folks. Fine rock and roll fashion, Vinny.
Yeah, lots of bands.
Wow. Yeah, what a resume too.
Jeez,
and to be able to rattle them off, something I can't do.
And
it's hard.
we're getting so much interaction, you guys. I don't want to interrupt, but so we gotta from our last comments, we got Ski Flute from our friend Nikki that's right, a legend of the 64, playing next Saturday night in La Mesa, California at Dino's. Be there
on Baltimore, yes.
Yep. And then our wonderful friend Carlin says Brian is an animated speaker, definitely, and he's hilarious. This man he's very animated and very wonderful. And then Shawnee has to get in there. Gilbert Pet, bring him back. So that must be some inside information.
It was the Gilbert's Pet that we were talking about, and but he spelled it wrong because he's Sean and he doesn't spell check his stuff.
And then he's got, here we go, new metal all the way. He's throwing down the gauntlet. Look at this. Man, you guys we're having so much fun on the spin with Brian Ostro, you guys. Look at Sean.
I forgot about that band, the Daughter Robbers.
Man, let's send some people over there so Sean can get busy over at What's Left Records.
Right.
Get that last push, folks. That
the inventory done? That's what I want to know.
What's that, man?
Did he finish his inventory for the day?
Oh man,
we don't have an inventory.
Time, right?
He's saying it.
And then Carlin, thank you so much, man. This what a fun show already. But man, Brian, so like when I met you, so this was about Blighter era. So probably like of all those bands that you listed off, which is an illustrious list, it was around the Blighter time where I met you, and you were booking shows at a little club called the Triple Nickel.
That's right.
And you happened to like my band at the time, Circles and Squares.
Very good.
And that's I don't know how to make a square, but anyways, shout out to those wonderful Anthony Davis and Mandy Christensen. And ever since then, my friend, I just want to say thank you so much for investing in what I do as a musician and so many others, and not just in one genre. You can identify so many different things. Some of my favorite shows that you put on at this little quaint club called the Flux Capacitor, which is legendary in my mind. Thank you and your brother and your friends for that. Is these multi-genre shows. So talk about how that influences what you put together as your love of music, is the diversity that you bring.
Yeah, so I think music can be, and especially in bigger towns, but music can really be very cliquey at times. And I think it's supposed to be non-cliquey. It's supposed to be all of us doing this together. So a lot of times you have people that are like, I'm into punk, but I'm not into metal. I'm into hip hop, but I'm not into punk. I'm into, et cetera, et cetera. But what I think is the real thing is that we're all going through the same stuff. We're all, struggling to get by sometimes, with work, had a bad day. We're all going through stuff together, and music is our escape and our way to do stuff. So I think it's important for people to see different kinds of music to realize that we're not so different, like a hardcore band isn't so different from, a rapper, or, a rapper's not so different from like this death metal band, we're all like expressing it just in different ways. So I think by being able to put all of it in under one roof, is the best way to do it, because that way it gets somebody to see something that they wouldn't typically see, before. They wouldn't just go out to see a show like that because they don't know about it. But, when they're going to see their friend's band, and then they just happen to see this band that just blew them out of the water, or, blew them away, they're like, oh, wow, maybe this is something that I want to, get in. I just think it's an important part of the community to not just have it be all the metal heads here, all the punks there, all the hip hop heads over there. It needs to be like, everybody together, and, being able to take a little bit from, each genre.
What a great answer. I love it. I love
it. Truly.
That's right.
Inspiring, seriously. It's wonderful. And I mean, for myself and Vinny, being independent music artists our whole life, it's like we're like signed to labels, or like everything we've done has been, in the garage, in the basement, and so when I met you and you were doing your own record label and booking shows and in 3 bands at the same time, it's like, you're the first person I was like, this is how like at least 1 out of 3 people should be, not 1 out of 30 and stuff. And then now, 14 years later, it's even in some ways more scant, especially as we do grow and evolve. I mean, I know more younger people have fueled the fire, and more power to them.
Oh, yeah.
But opening up a place like the Flux Capacitor for a venue, for as international venue, to do that in a little Colorado Springs town, my friend. I mean, what an inspiration. Talk about those days for people that didn't have a glimpse. There's friends from Poway and stuff that are viewing that could totally relate to the vibe of this place, but obviously didn't get to experience it. But I mean, there were places like this all over the country, and we were really lucky to have the Flux. I mean, again, an international venue. I played with a jazz band from Italy there. I mean, it's like, at what were they, Electric Circus?
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, so rad. I mean, and then again, you provided these opportunities, not only for folks like us, but for people like them to come across these borders, and folks like Sam Vega. I mean, lifelong friends. And so speak to that a little bit, like the Flux, man, what a hip venue that was.
Yeah, so Flux was for those that don't know, it was a DIY like warehouse venue essentially. It was me and a bunch of my friends, Josh, my brother Sean, Damien, Caleb, Nick, it was just a bunch of us all kind of getting together, and Naboth, and all of us just getting together and doing what we wanted to do. Like we used to go to Denver all the time. We'd go like 2 or 3 days a week, to go like see DIY shows and punk shows and stuff out there. And I'm just like, this is awesome. Why don't we have it down here? And everyone's like, you can't do that down here. And it's like, well, let's try it. It's not that, it's not that hard. All you got to do is start doing it. We used to do house shows. So let's, find a way to do it. Hostel House was going really well and stuff. And so Damien came from Hostel House, and we kind of all just started getting this place. Our buddy Luke Blanton had this awesome and still does this building where he has a bunch of practice spaces and stuff. So he what he did there was he had a building of practice spaces down in the basement. There was an empty spot. So I kept asking if he knew of any warehouses, and he's like, you could do stuff down here. So it was like an 850 square foot room. We just like packed it in, and we built the stage, and we just did a bunch of shows, and we just had bands from all over the place kind of come and play. And at the time I was booking at the Triple Nickel, and though I have a ton of love for the Triple Nickel and I still do book there and stuff now too, I was just wanting to do something a little bit different than, the bar culture and the bar vibes, where at the end of the night, it's not about how cool the show was. It was about, it's about, how much did the bar ring and, stuff like that. So I wanted to change something a little bit. And that's what we did. And every show there was donation based. So if somebody didn't have enough money to get in, they're still allowed to come in. We don't want you to be penalized and not be able to see music because you're not doing well in life, or you're struggling a little bit. And you could also donate like CDs or books, and we had like a little mini store in there. And that's kind of where What's Left Records kind of stemmed from. So that's just pretty much what it was. It was just, and we did a lot of mixed genre shows and all that. I'm sorry I'm talking so much.
What do you mean? No, we couldn't be more happy with having you on the show. It's so fantastic, man.
We've waited a very long time to talk to you, Brian. So
yeah,
absolutely. You're not talking too much. We're soaking it all in. It's a beautiful story. As an outsider, I want to thank you as well, because 719 being my adopted home since Anonymous Collected started back in 19 mumble. You guys have always been there for us.
Yeah.
Whether you were helping us through your work at the Triple Nickel or the other fine clubs that you've worked at, now with the stores, helping the show and everything else. But the thing you've always had is that sense of community. Yeah. And it's something that's been lacking in my genre for a very, very, very long time. And it shows in the love that you receive because you've earned it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, community is just a very important part about it. It's like, if you don't have each other, who do you have, And I think that by having a space, especially like Flux, that wasn't a bar, it was a place where anybody could come, no matter what their age, no matter what their race, their gender, their sexuality, any of that. You could come and find like-minded people and people that are the same, and just have a place to like breathe a little, and the place to like,
with good music, I might add. With fantastic music. And that's the most important factor, frankly.
Yeah, incredible acts that you wouldn't see. Some of these acts you wouldn't see go through Colorado Springs. They just wouldn't have the right venue or the right timing. And Brian was just, and the crew were just able to like put together some amazing shows. Yeah.
That was another thing too, where we would be seeing all these shows come into Denver, and we're like, why aren't there cool shows coming here? There's really good bands out here. Let's try to book them. And that's kind of how that stuff started happening too. That's why we booked our fest, 7-1 Grind, because we wanted to have all these big cool bands play down here in the Springs and have people come down from Denver and from, across the country to like see the cool scene that we have down here. Because we have cool stuff down here. It's not just this, conservative Christian military town that everybody thinks it is. There's a whole lot of open-mindedness and art and music that should be showcased. And so that's kind of why we have been doing what we're doing. Instead of just moving somewhere else, make where you are better. You know, I know so many people that are like, this town sucks, let's move somewhere else. And it's like, well, instead of moving somewhere where it already is, why don't you build your own community and build your town and make it what it can be, you know? So yeah.
Well, mission accomplished, my friend. Again, since I've been here, I was lucky enough to, you know, get your number from like Frank G or something when I first had my first band together. And ever since then, it's just been a wonderful ride, and so many connections made with you and so many other people, like bands that I still talk to, and like able to make the Albuquerque connection with folks that I met through shows playing at the Nickel and all over the country. In fact, people like Ryan Fox from San Diego was playing a show at the Nickel. He was in this band Fishwife back in the day, and like just all these great, you know, bills that you put all of our, you know, wonderful roster on. And it's just amazing, dude. And we couldn't possibly do a whole show, I mean, with you and cover everything that you have going on. I know I want to talk about the recording that's going on, because first of all, that new Night of the Living Shred, and kudos to Shawnee too, is a kick-ass record. It's super solid. Like, it's so fun and energetic, and it's exactly what the world needs. So Night of the Living Shred, it's on Bandcamp, and it's also physical copies available at What's Left Records.
All right.
It's so good. Oh my God, I love it. It's so much fun, and it sounds amazing. Like the sound quality, you guys have that just really dialed in. I mean, it's wonderful. And the voice, like sometimes it's like, how are they doing these voices? Like what kind of strange thing? But I want to know about Upon a Field's Whisper.
No, I'm just kidding.
You guys just played a show. I know Upon a Field's Whisper just played a killer show, and then recording. So yeah, get us up to date, my friend. What's going on?
So Upon a Field's Whisper is a project of mine that's kind of like atmospheric, melodic black metal mixed with like crust punk and scrams and stuff like that. So it's really awesome. It's really what I've been very into doing lately. And we just played a cool show at the Triple Nickel with Frail Body from Illinois and Noel from Tennessee. And it was a really, really cool show. We've been currently recording for a new album. We got all the music done, and then on Thursday we're gonna go and finish vocals and a few extra guitar stuff, and you know, just get it where it needs to be. It's gonna be called "Sorry for Your Loss," and it's kind of a play on that phrase where I've kind of always not been the most into that phrase of "sorry for your loss." You know, it's like someone passes away, someone's going through something. Sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss is what you're supposed to say, and it's kind of not that heartfelt. So what this album is about is it's about the world that we're living in right now and what's been going on, you know, from wars to protests to this pandemic and everything. And it's about the world that we know it, you know, after the pandemic and everything, the world that we know it is dying. And so for lack of better words, it's just changing. And so it's a play on that. So it's like, sorry for your loss, but like the loss is the world that you knew. But what it's about is it's not just a typical, you know, misanthropic metal album, because as good as those are, I kind of prefer a little bit of like, you know, optimism to it, and like, yeah, things suck, but like, what are you gonna do to make it better? And so that's what this, you know, concept album is. It's, you know, things are changing, things are different, but you know, we've lost so many people in our lives, you know, whether, you know, through whether it was, you know, substance abuse or, you know, the pandemic itself or a lot of things. And so we're still here, and we're lucky to be here or unlucky to be here, however you want to look at it. But regardless of the fact, we're still here on this earth. So we need to do our best to like give to it and make it better, and like give to the earth and the world instead of like take from it like humans do so much, you know. So that's kind of what it is. And then we have artwork done by Alex CF, and he's from these bands, like one of my favorite bands ever called Fall of Ephrathah from the UK. He's in Lightbearer, Momentum, Morrow. I've really looked up to all of his music and his writing and his art. So the fact that he's being able to do our artwork, I'm like very excited about.
It's so exciting, man. That's incredible. What a journey, man. So exciting.
And I love the full circle of the band getting back together, and you know, a subject I can relate with, playing with your drummer after eons. Can I ask how that feels in particular, Brian?
Yeah, like yeah, so I mean, so this project kind of essentially started with this band essentially started with, it was just me. I was still doing Blighter and some other bands, and I just wanted to make an album of like with this kind of concept and this style. So I played everything on it poorly. And I got a little
really
album good. And then like a 3-song EP. And then a couple of my friends actually started playing with us. My friend David Dempsey, which used to be in this band called Recondite that Fabricate played with all the time. He ended up moving to Nebraska, and then he just moved back. And then he just moved back, and then and then my friend Josh on bass and my friend Laddie on guitar, they decided that they wanted to come and do like a live thing. So we did a live thing. We recorded an album there, an EP, and then that was really cool. It was fun. And then during this whole pandemic thing, we kept writing, and we just wasn't, you know, we were writing and getting some really cool stuff done. And then Laddie and Josh just wanted to kind of go in different routes with music and with their lives and personal lives and stuff. So I was kind of at a point where I'm like, oh, bummed. Like, what are we gonna do with this stuff? We've been writing some of the best music, and then we got Brian Webb on bass, which he's played with me in Blighter. So we have great chemistry. I love him very much. He's killer at bass. And then Steve Parrott, which is also in David Dempsey's band Recondite, he came aboard, and he's like, I love this dude so much. Like, his music is like the best, like the way he plays guitar. And we've been talking since like 2004 about playing music together, and we finally were able to do it. So this whole like album is like newer stuff that we're all kind of doing together, and I'm super excited about it.
Oh man, we are too. Absolutely, man. I got to see a glimpse of, to the cover art. Brian showed me a sneak peek a little while back, and it's gorgeous, man. It's gonna be a really awesome packaging, as well as just great music. Super excited.
And I love every word that Brian said about the celebratory factor of music. It's something we've been touching on the whole day. It does mean something. It means a whole hell of a lot, Brian. And you're a perfect example of all that is good and what we should aspire to be, not as artists, but as human beings. So I really want to applaud you for that, Brian.
Well, thank you so much. That really does mean a lot, because that's kind of that's what I want to do, you know, like booking shows and booking bands is great, but giving people, you know, a good feeling in their hearts and a smile when they've had a bad day, that's the most important part.
Well, and to be an ambassador of your city, which you most certainly are, the 719 owes you a great debt, and I do as well. So that being said, it's very important we get the shout outs. You have to forgive the throat. Double header, right, Grunner?
Right.
Yeah. Can you, take a second to get some shout outs, Bri?
Well, Colorado Springs, I want to shout out, Ted Haggard, New Life Church, Focus on the Family. None of us. I'm just kidding. Of course, my brother, my family, for allowing me to, be able to be as busy and crazy as I am with, this, music world. Luke Blanton, that has allowed us to do Flux, and now What's Up Records is one of his buildings as well. So, and just, all the Flux crew that has helped me with this. Like, I know Sean and I get a lot of credit for it, but it's literally everybody that was there involved and was there going to the shows that made it what it was. And that's still what it is, with us still doing shows and everything. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. Any hot discs right now I want to throw out, like just music wise, that you like listening to, 2 or 3? Because I know you're a big music guy. I see a bunch of vinyl behind you.
I am. Wait, no, that's actually my calendar collection.
right.
Calendar guy. No,
probably are. Yeah, you probably are. No. Yeah, what's popping on the Ostro turntable right now? Just a couple things to get people rolling.
So right now I have literally what's on the turntable right now is the new OCs, Levitation Sessions.
Yes.
That came out this year. So that's really, I like that. Good, like garage rock, psych rock.
Yeah. Vinny would love them, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Also I mentioned with the art before, right, that back there is like a box set from this band. There it is. It's this band, Fall of Ephrathah from the UK. Really amazing, like melodic heavy band. Also a huge favorite of mine is this dude Chesky, which is another person that you should check out.
Yes.
Yeah, he does a bunch of really cool music. He has a label called Fake 4 Inc. But he plays like, you know, everything from hip hop to folk punk to hardcore, and he's a huge influence of mine as well. So yeah, so those are a couple of things I've been listening to a lot lately.
A bunch of cool stuff for folks too on YouTube with Chesky. Like you can just go on, like have you seen the one of him jamming in the taxi cab like in Amsterdam?
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
God, I love it. What a talented individual. Yeah, and speak other folks that you know and love on your shirt there, Zeta, they're coming to Colorado Springs.
Yes, they are. And we're actually playing that. So
before we go, what's up?
Yes, and we're actually playing that show too. So that's kind of full circle right there. Yeah. So March 17th, in honor of St. Paddy's Day and the Irish, we have a band from Venezuela playing. So it's absolutely not Irish at all, because we don't need another Flogging Molly playing right now. So Zeta, incredible band from Venezuela, amazing like psych rock, screamo, punk stuff. They're just like so good. They're coming to Fritzy's, which is the downstairs of the Triple Nickel. They're playing with this really incredible math rock band called Chew from Atlanta. Grano, you should definitely check them out. You'd like them a lot. And then our band, Upon the Fields Whisper, will be playing that one too. So
that sounds like an amazing bill. We'll definitely promote that up until the day out here on the spin as well for you, my brother.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yep, we always, as you know, we always talk about What's Left Records, and we've hung out there a few times. I've been there, and we've had Shawnee, and I just want to say thank you so much for completing this circle, the Sunday Spin Circle, with having Big Brother Ostro on.
Of course.
And, what a pleasure, man. Like, again, brother, your friendship over everything, like, yeah, you've hooked me up with shows, and we've done, people don't know this too, but we've done projects together. We got a hot new one, Thurston Ronaldo. We've already done one album. We're working on a second one. So it's great to work with Brian, to have him over and do recording. He's also been on some of my solo albums, doing some backup vocals and stuff. So just great working with you, and just your friendship and your brotherhood. Man, you and your brother, man, you guys always treat me like family. And thanks for inviting me into the What's Left small but very cool hip circle of people. Oh, yes. 2 Glens and the Brothers Ostro.
That's right.
It's so much fun. Again, folks, if you haven't been, What's Left Records is an experience. It's a destination point for vinyl and a bunch of other cool stuff. There's a list that's so long, as Brian knows. It's very diverse. And it's a wonderful little place to go and check out and interact with people that love music like Brian. So Brian, thanks so much, man. Like, again, your friendship, brother, means so much to us. And I can't wait till we all get out to San Diego together and hang out with the sun.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to see both all of us in our beach buds. You know,
right. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. I know, and brother too. Shout out to Shawnee. Again, Sean's been just as supportive and wonderful, and again, a great co-worker and stuff. I got to clean up after him though, man. After a couple of his shifts, all his hangers. That's the main thing, is his hangers. He's just like, I think he flings them on purpose. He's like, I sold a $50 shift. I sold a $15
hangers and price tags.
Right. He's got. But yeah, the place has got going on everything, man. Like, this a great experience. Only closed on Mondays, every other day, 11 to 7. And you'll see this beautiful man here on Tuesday if you go in. I'll be in this week, just so you know. I'm gonna Shawnee put aside the deer hoof, the new one for me.
I was gonna say, I was gonna tell you that.
I know you, and that's the other thing. These guys do special orders. That's something we don't always mention. Special orders, they'll go a mile for you to find you good rock and roll music, or even good classical, or whatever you want. You want a comedy, Vinny? You want a Liza Minnelli comedy record? They got you.
Oh, well, you know, I've already got the complete box set here. What more could I need?
I'll make you a Liza album.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely,
sweetie,
you know.
I got you.
Hang on to those Jim Neighbors records for me, though, if you would, please. You know, a little Mantovani.
Exactly.
Hey, man, 1, 2, 3, AARP, brother.
And so we'll just end the show with this final comment from Miss Carlin Marie. Thank you so much for tuning in, my dear. It was a pleasure listening and watching you. Good luck on future endeavors to Brian. Yeah.
Thank you.
I know, what a killer guest, huh? Man, we're going out with a bang this week. I mean, Brian, yeah, you're a heck of a guy. We'll have you back. We'll have you and Sean back for shenanigans sometime.
Yeah, we should just have an episode where we fight with each other the whole time.
Dude, please. Oh my God. It's
do you think the screen's big enough for the both of them? Wow.
You gotta have
is our insurance paid up, Greno?
It's like Chip and Ernie Douglas, man. It's like, are you kidding me? Like these two. And it's rock and roll too, so it makes perfect parallel here. As we always do on the spin, we always dot every I and cross every whatever T. Oh, Sean's putting down throwing the gauntlet. He's ready to rock. He says, yes, please. Brian's
Oh, really, sir?
And yes, please. See, so yeah, shenanigans coming up on the spin.
You know, you're writing this at 6:45. We are still open till 7. So you're berating me on company time, sir. There will be on Tuesday. There will be a write-up waiting for you. Okay.
Oh no, don't write him up, man. He saved that record for me. Write him up next week.
Oh,
no,
he's out of here.
We'll have our own WWF.
I'm gonna throw him out like a coat hanger.
We're gonna have the Ostro brothers in a steel cage match next year for you on the Sunday Spin.
Dude, I can't wait. This is
lots of gasoline.
Oh, Sean, it's just he says he's closing. Yeah. And he says screw you. So yeah, we're getting super interactive on the spin. That's why we like to have you guys view us live. But just in case you cannot, Vinny, what do they need to do?
Oh, well, there's so many things you could do. I mean, first off, you could call Greno in the morning and say, hey, Greno, where's the show? But no, you can go to YouTube, Technicolor Dreams. Nice to ring that bell and subscribe while you're there.
Please do.
Obviously, Facebook, the Sunday Spin page. And do not forget to check my man out tomorrow on the best new show on digital media, KCOS, and that's Greno's Groove Yard. Greno, congratulations on a winner.
Dude, it's fun, man. It's cool. And on New Music Mondays, I'm always featuring Night of the Living Shred and the new music. And then the new Upon a Field's Whisper comes out. We'll be pumping that as well. So, yeah, what an opportunity to play local music on KCOS every Monday, 6 p.m. We love you guys. Stay in the groove. Next week, this cat named Jason Hill. Talk about a legend of the 64 from the band Convoy, from the band Louis the 14th, and also award-winning, I guess, TV composer for the show Mindhunter, which is on Netflix. So, yeah, we're looking forward to him. But this legend right here, man, we love you too, Brian. Thank you so much for everything that you do. This guy booked like 30 shows. The show list for next month is like, it's insane. Phenomenal. Like, keep doing what you do, brother. I know it's
a bit much, to be completely honest with you. I'm fearing it, but it's March Madness, so.
No, I think it's more power to you. It's great. I'm going to do what I can to get my old butt out there and do support. I will definitely be at that show that's coming up on the 17th. And yeah, man, just looking forward to hanging out with you again and making some noise, my brother. So thanks again so much. Vinny, thank you for always being just the best co-host anyone could ever ask. Emmy Award winning. We went a little bit over today, but man, was it worth it for this doubleheader to spend time with Mr. Brian Ostro. Brian, say hi to your parents for me. They're wonderful people.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
They're rad. I know.
On the spin one day.
They're awesome.
Hi, Brian.
I spent a little bit more time with your dad than mom, but I did meet your mom at the shop. What a wonderful woman. Man, no wonder you guys are quality.
You should have him on the spin, and you guys could just talk about Pearl Jam for like a half an hour.
Dude, let's do it. Let's get the whole family of Ostros on there. That would just, next time it's just you and Shawnee, but then yeah, maybe like we'll do a Thanksgiving edition next year where we just take like 5 minutes of your guys' time and get some Thanksgiving shenanigans. But next time it's you versus Shawnee, my brother.
Heck yeah. That's
definitely
right.
I love it. I love it. So we'll get that going. Again, you guys, thanks so much. We'll be back next week, 4 p.m. Pacific. Jason Hill. I know you guys are excited. And Brian, we can't wait to have you back on. Next time, we're going to bug you in the store, though, my brother.
Heck yeah, sounds good. I appreciate being on again. Thank you guys so much. This was fun.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. Thanks for taking the time. All right, brother.
Have a good one, guys.
Next week. Love you. Stay sexy, everybody.